Hi, my name is Foxy Sugarloop and welcome to The Rabbit Hole. Today we're going to be talking about someone special. Her name is Penny L.A. Shepherd and she is an MK Ultra, a super soldier, and was used by her CIA family, Joseph Mengele, and she claims that 11 from Stranger Things is based on her real life story. Today I'm going to be reading a chapter from her book called The Tortoise and the Hare. So without further ado, let's take a deep dive into this material. Question: if the species of Draco-reptilian primes, the Satans depicted in the Bible, could obtain more time on this planet, how would they do it? Answer: create a time loop. The story of the tortoise and the hare. In my research, the tortoise and the hare analogy appears to have evolved from writings of Aesop, an alleged individual who was a slave in the 5th century BC. His stories were translated into Greek, Latin, and English in 1494. The story of the tortoise and the hare was a new one added after a collection of Aesop's fables were translated into Greek. It somehow snuck into the lexicon. Since its inception, it has been rewritten many times. The hare. The hare is a rabbit. In Lewis Carroll's Alice in Wonderland, he represents the rabbit with a pocket watch, as he is the master of time travel. He is always carrying a pocket watch, always late for a very important date. I gave 3 men pocket watches: Darrell, Steve, and John, masters of time. I am the MK Ultra, the toy, the rabbit, aka the Playboy Bunny. I am female. The rabbit is globally used as a symbol of fertility. The Easter Bunny. The Easter Bunny is often perceived as male, which, although I do not believe in irony, I will say that is ironic. It is a male bunny who deposits eggs all over the world. Fiona Barnett said Dr. Mengele, who tortured her, had a white rabbit on his door. She said his was the name we did not mention. I said, like Voldemort in Harry Potter? She said, yes. Now, I did hear from Isaac Cappy, who was killed from talking about this kind of material, that he believes that Fiona Barnett is a liar. So, I'm just going to say I don't know what I don't know, and I don't know what I don't know about any given number of these testimonies, but it's not going to stop me from researching them. When I was at Willow Creek Church on Saturday, I was sitting in a tech rehearsal for the worship band and texting John. They put Jesus in a jail cell on stage. I took a photo and sent it to my former agent John and Jeff Lawton, an off-Broadway producer who I went to high school with. I had forgotten what day it was. I was trying to reclaim my life and start over again after the worst marriage on the planet, which left me traumatized, disabled, and broken. After I left my husband and began to heal, I realized my memory was totally erased. I had no idea who John or who Darrell was at that time. And this is just a manifestation or something I'm putting out into the world. Given that I've had so many problems with, fitting into different female groups and anything, I just hope that the person I marry is my best friend and I have a healthy, happy, loving relationship. I said, John, you are the only one who understands me. The only one I can share my work with. John said, happy Saturday. I said to John, some of us have to work for a living. And he said, I'm at the office. Want to see what I'm working on? I said, sure. John emailed me a photo of a singer. He was paying her $3,000 for one song. I thought, wow. I worked for John for $600 a week, 7 days a week, pretty much 24/7, and this girl was getting $3,000 for one song. I looked at the song. It was Jefferson Airplane's White Rabbit. John told me that he was Joseph Mengele's son and protege, but I did not understand what he was saying. What does a Satan do? He mocks that which is good. John was mocking me. Satan turns everything upside down, which is why in Stranger Things told us we are actually living in the upside down. In other words, Satan, or evil ones, aka Draco reptilians, take that which is intended for good and use it for bad. And that was what I was struggling with before I woke up, is I realized it was like I realized that this world was upside down. I was suffering because the world is an insane asylum. Right is wrong and wrong is right. John was telling me he was the face behind the door with the white rabbit on it. For years, I said I was the rabbit and John was the carrot. The male Easter Bunny would be representative of the Draco, who throughout time has been stealing eggs of all the female species on this planet and redepositing them, after reproducing differentiated species to different genetic hybrids and handlers. Rabbits are considered mammals. Contrary to the mythos that the Easter Bunny delivered eggs, the rabbit gives live birth. Rabbits are a symbol of fertility because they can conceive a second litter of offspring while still pregnant from the first. They develop embryos inside the uterus after a pregnancy of 31 to 33 days, and they give birth to approximately 12 babies. In the 13th century, pre-Christian Germany, when people worshipped gods and goddesses, the Oestra was the goddess of the spring and fertility, and feasts were held in her honor on the vernal equinox. In the 15th century, the Roman Catholic Church merged with pagan beliefs and promoted the Easter Bunny legend in conjunction with Jesus' resurrection, rather than mocking it, taking away from the attention placed on Jesus and putting it on the rabbit. So, the Easter Bunny is pagan. Words are specific. In the beginning, there was the Word. Why not say the turtle and the rabbit? The story is the tortoise and the hare. What are the definitions regarding hare? Definitions: Hare, Hare, Hare. Hare is the German title of Mr. in the 1650s, also originally meaning nobler, superior, from the Middle High German Hare, from the Old High German hero, comparative of here, noble, worthy, exalted, lord, master, proud, holy, splendid, noble. Many plays on the term hare. Also, it can refer to God as Lord, as in the Lord of the Rings. Der Herr der Ring, from the Pyle, is a color adjective suffixed form koi roi, meaning gray, hoary, hence gray-haired, venerable, or the alternative, gray, the benevolent ETs. Heir also refers to those who receive a legacy or inheritance from their ancestors or predecessors. Okay. What is Hare trigger? It is a trigger of a firearm for a release of the slightest pressure. MK Ultra weaponizes us and makes us into sexpionage agent assassins upon command with a trigger or a sound or smell. The term Hare trigger applied to a person's temperament is a person liable to change suddenly and violently. This is the predisposition of an mind-controlled MK Ultra Manchurian candidate. The term hare is very specific, and it can also be used as a trigger word. Mention the tortoise and the hare story, and you may actually trigger an MK Ultra. And that is true that MK Ultras have different trigger words. Here comes my dog. Okay, so the turtle. Dana Carvey mocks the Turtle Club, to which he is a member. John reps Dana Carvey. The tortoise represents the turtle. He is a reptile, The tortoise lives exclusively on land, while some turtles live in sea. Tortoises are generally vegetarians, while most turtles are omnivorous. The dragon turtle is a legendary Chinese creature that combines two of the four celestial animals of the Chinese mythology. The body of the turtle with the dragon is a positive ornament in the feng shui, symbolizing courage, determination, fertility, longevity, power, success, and support. The turtle Drago would be the representative of the Drago species, contrary to the rabbit. Tortoises can lay eggs for up to 4 years after mating. Wild tortoises produce fertile eggs 15 to 20 years in maturity. In captivity, a tortoise produces at 4 to 5 years. One question then is, why don't we have an Easter turtle? Turtles lay eggs, the rabbit does not. Okay. The Turtle Club. There are many turtle clubs, many secret turtle clubs, and secret members. One exclusive turtle club offers an entrance at every rodeo event in the rodeo world. An accomplished rider obtains a belt buckle that enables entrance by flashing the buckle. There is an ancient and honorable order of the Turtles, International Association of Turtles, which was started as a drinking club by Captain Hugh P. McGowan, U.S. Army Air Corps, USAF Reserve. The club was founded in an officers' club in England when a flying day combat missions over Hitler's Third Reich. It spread to Masonic groups in high schools. It was dreamed up by test pilots when the Apollo team was trying to maintain even a strain and beat the Russians to the moon. Membership was diligently sought after and highly esteemed by those who were lucky enough to be initiated. If you were a turtle, you were aggressive and had a feeling for fair play, clean thoughts, and a sense of humor. Turtles are bright-eyed, fearless, and unafraid of folk with their fighter-pilot attitude. If they believe you never get any place worthwhile unless you stick your neck out. Those are the turtles clubs that we know about. Be assured that if the Masons adopted it, it has a satanic underbelly that you will never see, just like every other organization, secret organization. And that's one thing that really became apparent to me, was the sheer just level that these satanic groups are. This 8 to 14% of the population. So that's reference to Christy Allen. She says, depending on where you live, every stinking little town has about 8% of people who are participating in the dark occult. And if you haven't listened to any of these MK Ultra testimonies and the sheer horror that these people are going through, I would highly recommend it. Especially, I think a lot of people who are very atheistic don't want to look into satanic ritual abuse, which I totally understand. I used to be an atheist when I was 13 to 14 because I don't base my reality off of things that aren't in the shared existence, the world that we all share and we all can see, the perceivable reality. Let me tell you that satanic ritual abuse is in the shared reality. And if you ignore something just because you don't want to see it or hear it, then that's just evil. Ignorance is evil. Anyway, the fable. Everyone knows the story of the tortoise and the hare, where the hare is arrogant and starts the race with the simple-minded tortoise who is slow and plodding. The hare is so overconfident that he takes a bunch of naps while the tortoise is plodding away. The plodding tortoise wins the race, the moral of the story being slow and steady wins the race. But what if that's not the actual story? George Murray's version. In 1891, George Murray, a poet, flips the moral of the story, the hare and the tortoise. The hare named Puss sleeps during the race, seeing that she's likely to win, but this time the hare wakes up just in time to catch her mistake leaping from her slumber. Scared by the sight, with all her speed and strength, she gallops in, a winner by length. No need to be slow and steady if you wake up paranoid and you're ready to make up for lost time. And that's me, because I wanted to be doing YouTube for a long time. It's been a huge dream of mine. Just to have ever since I was 11 years old, just have anyone watching my content on the internet. But I learned about this, and I went in hiding for 3 years. I gave up modeling, I gave up videos. I was terrified, out of my mind. And yeah. My nose itches a little. Every time. Sorry about that, man. This is the first story that I'm going to say rings true. The other stories about the turtle winning do not make sense. Also, if the rabbit is drugged, it would sleep. And the lost time, well, that indicates that the tortoise was a time traveler and experimented in MKUltra, which is probably why the hare started wearing a pocket watch in Alice in Wonderland in the first place, because the tortoise was deceptive and a clever, malevolent reptile that tricked him in an effort to win the race for time. The turtle, who was a magician, who continually pulled him, the rabbit, out of his hat at every turn. The turtle was not above murdering a few identical rabbits just to pull off his trick that he was pulling the same rabbit out of his hat in front of an admiring audience. The tortoise had his own house and he was very wealthy. He had many mates. Nothing fulfilled him, nothing was ever enough. Not enough food, not enough possessions, not enough money, not enough sex. The hare was poor but had true happiness. The tortoise was envious because the hare had true happiness. The tortoise challenges the hare to a race, but the hare doesn't like to run. The tortoise thinks that if he wins, everyone will think he is clever. He continually badgers the hare for a period of time, challenging him to a duel. He can't wait to prove to everyone that the hare is slow, stupid, conniving, egotistical fool. All things that the tortoise is. And 3 things that the hare is not. The hare, unaware of the intentions of the tortoise, finally gives in. The hare knows he is faster and doesn't want to humiliate the tortoise, but he cannot stand the constant badgering. The tortoise plots for years how he is going to win. Bear in mind, the tortoise was ridiculously wealthy. He spent years trying to fix the race so he would look good. He had nothing else to occupy his time with, so one night when the hare was asleep, the turtle sends his Ninja Turtle buddies to hypnotize the hare and put implants in the hare's brain. Which is something they do to people if you're unaware. The tortoise then sits at his house and runs a program that installed the MKUltra on his computer in front of the military. He is ensuring that he will win the race. The military are there, hedging their bets. On the day of the race, the tortoise offers the hare a drink. In the drink, he puts 3 sleeping pills. The hare begins the race, but due to the sleeping pills, the hare falls asleep. The tortoise begins to plod, assured his plan will work. The hare wakes up and starts to run again. The tortoise was informed by Secret Service that the hare was up and running. The tortoise then talked to his iPhone watch and simply commanded the rabbit to sleep. The rabbit spaced out and shut down, falling asleep by the side of the racetrack. The tortoise totally controlled the MKUltra rabbit. He continued the farce of a race. Appearing to go as fast as possible, he listened to the sound of the crowd and the military cheering him on in victory. At the last minute, the hare wakes up again. She breaks the programming speeds forward only to land on a proximity mine. The hare's foot lands across the finish line, and she wins the race by her rabbit's foot. A lion watching the race arrests the tortoise and condemns it to soup. The hare is traumatized. They take the rabbit's foot and put it on a keychain and sell it for $11.95 on Amazon Prime. You can now start your car with the rabbit's foot. Various rituals suggested by sources, though they differ widely from one another. The rabbit is an animal which shape-shifting witches such as Isabel Gowdy claim to be able to transform into. Witches were aids to be active at times of the full moon and new moons. There are widely varying circumstances may share a common thread of suggestion that the true lucky rabbit's foot is actually cut from the shape-shifting witch. Willie Dixon's song Hoochie Coochie Man mentions a black cat bone, artifacts in hoodoo magic, dust, and in appropriation of a corpse as a relic, a form of sympathetic magic. The rabbit's foot is dried out and preserved, carried around by gamblers and other people who feel it will bring them luck. President Roosevelt wrote in his autobiography that he was given a gold mountain rabbit's foot by John L. Sullivan. Booker T. Washington and Brandon Hengelmuller, the ambassador of Austria, got their coats confused in the White House when the Baron, searching in the pockets for his gloves, noticed that the coat he had was not his. He found the left hind foot of a graveyard rabbit killed in the dark of the moon. Rabbits' foots are mentioned in many songs and minstrel shows. One line stated that, "And you've got a rabbit's foot to keep away the hoodoo." Humorist R.E. Shea said, "Depend on the rabbit's foot if you will, but remember it didn't work out well for the rabbit." Putting the rabbit to sleep. Under MK Ultra, I was literally erased and put to sleep for 58 years while operating in covert ops for my brother John. Sleepers are people of the earth. The entire world is under the direction and puppetry of MK Ultra and is maintained and manipulated by the Dracos. All others are sleeping, only a small contingency is awakened. I am the rabbit. John, Steve, Darrell, and the CIA and secret government took my DNA and my ovum and fetuses and made children from them. Can I prove this? No. Do I feel it in my soul? Yes. As MK Ultras, we are put to sleep through mind control, erased through electroshock with cattle prods and stun guns, given drugs, enslaved, taken, raped, pillaged, and sold as currency. Women are the rabbits. They travel in time, are sold on planets, dimensions, or planes, and are servants. We serve as presidential models, singers, galactic entertainers, and breeders who are the foundation of genetic materials utilized by the Dracos and other species to propagate alternative hybrid species. This rabbit, MK Ultra, was permitted to awaken from her slumber to research and find out who she is. To ask anyone to believe is not a proposition I seek. I started this Alice in Wonderland journey to find out who I am, and to find out why my entire life was erased from me. I am finding out who my actual family is. They are evil Drago Grey hybrids that appear as human, but they are not. They do not feel, they simply consume, like the turtle. Never enough food, never enough money, never enough possessions, never enough sex. They use us for currency. They trade us like playing cards. We are the slave labor to wash their clothes, cook for them, clean their houses, have their children whom they sell. They lie about everything to everyone. They hide who they are from the world and put on a face and a smile of the crocodile because they are Dragos who actually have horns and tails. They eat children and drink their blood and hide their satanic heads in the deep underground military bases. They are arrogant and supremacist of their own Drago race. Their motto is, "The one who has the most toys wins." MK Ultras are the toys. Mengele wanted absolute and final control. Hitler's final solution was to mind control the world. Live slaves are better than dead ones, and to create an endless time loop by breaching time through creating new timelines. MK Ultra's monarchs may break the programming, but until they will ultimately always return to their handlers in absolute mind control. To date, I have found that there are millions of others under MK Ultra who are now just awakening with questions, as well as millions of counterintelligence agents who are eager to make money off our stories and the stories of mind control, travel, ETs, advanced of advanced weaponry, deep underground military bases, secret space programs, etc. These are counter-intel PSYOP agents garner intel from the real super soldiers. They assist in character assassination of MKUltra super soldiers by telling them to their faces that they are liars, saying, "Prove this happened to you," when they are so assured that we cannot prove it because they have virtually erased any trace of evidence. They drug us with prescription drugs prescribed by CIA doctors and addict us to substances to discredit us as drug addicts. They tell us we are crazy. I had a team of doctors at Scripps Clinical who prescribed over 50 different drugs for me to take, which I did because I was a compliant MKUltra. They prescribed 7 drugs that caused hallucinations, and they said, "Penny, you're hallucinating. You're crazy." Of course I'm hallucinating. You gave me 7 drugs to cause me to hallucinate. They sent me to CIA doctors to diagnose me as crazy. They pumped me full of drugs when there was nothing wrong with me. Each MKUltra doctor making their practice bigger and triggering me into private sessions. The absolute truth is that my handlers and the scientists and doctors are absolutely insane, as is the entire Draco population. Now, I'm not sure, I have heard that there are good Dragos, but I do agree with this part about the psychiatric medication and people telling you you're crazy. I think it's sick what they're doing. The CIA, NSA operatives who infiltrate every organization, university, hospital, corporate identity, all run by the elite, lead the super soldiers into a path of evil entities like Lieutenant Colonel Michael Aquino, head of the Church of Satan, who will ensure that the super soldiers not serving their agenda are either arrested, put in mental institution, murdered, or attacked on the astral plane. Standard PSYOPs as developed by Dr. Donald Ewig Cameron. And one thing that was really weird that happened to me, I was watching this testimony. I forget what her name was, but she was a super soldier who served, and she was talking about the Ark of the Covenant, and that was one of these times where I was having this dream, and it was all black, and I was being just like choked, and then I left my body and then popped back in my body and woke up. It was super weird. I'm just gonna hope nothing like this is happening to me, but I am going to help people who are in it because I can't not. I already know about this. What am I supposed to do? One such agent I encountered most recently is Peter Moon, author of the Montauk Project, Experiments in Time. I spoke with him on Instant Messenger. Peter is the author of over 15 books, many with the subject of Montauk. He told me he didn't know anything about MKUltra. Peter said he ghost wrote the Montauk Project. According to his biography, actually moved to Long Island and met with many scientists involved with the project. He came acquainted with Preston Nicholson, who worked at Montauk. He was an electric engineer by trade. Peter had access to Montauk. Of that there is no question. This would mean that Peter had unusual clearance and access, as is CIA, apprised of all projects under Montauk, which are MKUltra, time travel, genetic experiments, biowarfare, and advanced technology. Peter also worked with Dr. David Anderson of the Time Travel Research Center on Long Island, an MKUltra doctor. Anderson reincorporated the New Mexico. Where else would you go? Peter was invited by the doctor to Romania to discuss space-time projects. As you well know, Dracula was from Transylvania, home of the Draco reptilians, illustrated as the tortoise, an overwhelmingly deceptive species. Pennsylvania is the new Transylvania, named after me, Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania. When I told Peter I was the actual little girl from Stranger Things and sent him a photo of my brother, Peter immediately tried to discredit me. First rule of thumb, when you're talking to me, don't lie to me about me. Peter said I had to prove that Duffer Brothers stole my story in Stranger Things. I said I did not need to prove anything. The information is not proprietary. Sorry about my pronunciation. And my camera just cut off, so I'm back. I'm not asking for credit, fortune, or fame. Unlike Peter Moon, who has made quite a pretty penny off his books, I am a simple prayer to God. When the CIA decided that I could actually recover my past, God revealed myself to me. I need to know who I am and what happened to me and why my entire life has been erased. Through research and interviewing others, daily I garner information. The intel I recover, shadow memories erased from my shadow and the covert government that experimented on me for 60 years. It is well known that the military CIA own the entertainment field and that they have stolen people's memories, books, songs, and lives, which they all base television series and movies upon. For anyone who doesn't know, the media is owned by the leaders of the 13 Illuminati bloodlines, starting with the Rothschilds, who are the Bowmans, the Baumans, the Baumgarters, the Meyers, the Meisers, the Mahers, the Mayers, all Rothschilds. They go by many names, hidden within their anagrams and front names, which are not their actual names. The illusion that the CIA perpetrates is that fables, mythos, and movies are not real, and that sci-fi is not real. Nothing is an accident. Every move and movie is meticulously strategized by the deep state. Those who make copious amounts of money are permitted by the secret government to release a thimble of truth. But then they try to make sure that if you understand the truth, you are dismissed as crazy, drug-addicted, alcoholic, homeless. Not only not to be believed. The movies are real, militarized strategy intel. Everyone on the planet is in the movies. They are about you and your real-life events. Yeah, so I absolutely don't think Penny is crazy at all. Again, I don't know what I don't know about people. I know people can lie. I know there is counterintelligence. Something about her just rings really true with me. Or she could be not telling the truth. I can't know. There's no way I can, unless I develop some sort of really good psychic ability and I'm able to do that through intuition, I don't know. But I think this is an overall really important story to hear. I do think that the Dragos don't like women, so I think that's a lot of my interest in this story. So, yeah, I hope you enjoyed this reading. Please subscribe. Check out my my Instagram is Gumby Strikes Back. I'm always uploading research on there. So, you know, let me know. Help me fulfill this mission. Help me free the slaves. And let's hope I'm not a part of this, because that would just be unless I find out I have some sort of awesome superpower. I'm not really going to be very pleased if I am a part of this, but anyway, see you later. Bye.